Alright, this video is Unit 2, Section 5, Solving Systems of Linear Inequalities. This is the last section for Unit 2, so hooray. So there's two parts to this one. First one is determining solutions to linear inequalities. Now, this might seem easy, because it is. But what we have here is we have an x, comma, y, right? I can plug those x, y, the 2, 1, into all of these x's and y's and see if they're all true. That's all I have to do. So it's a yes or no answer when I do this. So for example, let's do the first one up here. So if I have y, instead of y, I'm going to plug in 1. So I have 1 less than or equal to 5 times x, which is 2, minus 2. Now we play it out, see if it's true or not. So 1 is less than or equal to 5 times 2 is 10, minus 2, 1 is less than or equal to 8. Well, 1 is less than or equal to 8, so that's good to go. Now we could try another one. Let's try the second one. So I have 1, or y, right? So 1 is greater than 2 times x, which is 2, minus 4. So 1 is greater than, 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4. Well, that's 0. And yes, 1 is greater than 0, so that's good. Last one, I have y, or 1, less than x, which is 2 plus 1. 1 less than 3. That is true. So my answer, it just says determine whether the ordered pair is a solution. Well, yes, it is. It has to meet all three, though. It can't just be 1 or 2. It has to be all of them. So if they're all good, it's yes. If any of them are bad, it's no. That's all we're doing here. So let's do the same thing over here. Now, I don't have to rearrange these. It doesn't matter. Right? I still have x. I still have y. I can still plug them in like normal. So let's go ahead and do the first one up here. So x is now negative 2. Plus 2 times y, which is 5, is greater than 6. So negative 2, 2 times 5 is 10, and that would be 8. 8 is greater than 6. That is yes. That's true. Okay, let's do the second one. So I have 3 times x, which is negative 2, minus 5 times y, which is 5, is less than or equal to 10. Okay, so I have 3 times negative 2, negative 6. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. Less than or equal to 10. Well, that is certainly true, right? And we gotta check the last one. So I'll do that one right here. So we have 2 times negative 2 plus 4 times y, which is 5. So we have 2 times negative 2, 4 times 5. 20 minus 4 is 16, greater than or equal to 20. Well, that is not true. So because that one's not, the whole thing is just a big fat no. So it's either all true or not all true. That's really what it is. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is graphing. Now hopefully you're good at graphing. If not, sorry. So I have y is greater than negative 2. Now notice I don't have an x, but that would be my y-intercept, right? My b. So I go down to negative 2. And because I don't have a slope or no x, and it's not underlined, I have a dotted line horizontally through negative 2. So it's dotted because my inequality is not underlined, right? It's kind of like the open and closed circle. Open circle is dotted, closed circle is solid. Okay. Okay, my next one, x is less than 4. So now I would go on the x-axis because this is x, right? I go up to 4, and not underline is another dotted line. Okay, and my last one, y is greater than negative x. So my y-intercept is 0 because I don't have a b. And negative 1 is just negative 1 over 1, like this. And of course, this one's also dotted, right? Now, here's what you do. Notice how I have 3 lines, they all cross each other, and they make a triangle. There's a shape. That is what I'm looking for. That is what I shade in. So the shading, the shaded part, that is my actual answer I'm looking for. That whole area is my answer. Everything in there, okay? So you graph all 3 lines and shade where they meet in the middle. And that's all we're doing. Now notice on 4, none of these have y on one side. We want to do that just to make it easier. You don't have to. There are ways to graph without doing that, but just for simplicity, I'm going to go ahead and move this 2x over here, right? So I would have y less than or equal to 0 minus 2x. So I'm going to go ahead and do 0 as my b, negative 2 is my slope, so I do down 2 over 1. And then I go backwards up to left 1, right? Now notice this sign is underlined, so I can do a solid line and I'm good to go. Okay, next one. I have x that I got to move over here. So I have 2y greater than negative 4 minus x. And I got to divide everything by 2 to get rid of that 2. So last part, y greater than. So we have negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 1 over 2 is just negative 1/2 x. Okay, so our b is negative 2. And our slope is negative 1 over 2. And backwards is up 1, left 2. And this sign is not underlined, so it is dotted. Okay, and then last one is right here. We got to move this x over. So I would have negative 2y greater than or equal to 1 minus x. And then of course divide by negative 2. So we have y, and because we divided by a negative, this sign changes. So 1 over negative 2 is just negative 1/2. And negative 1 over negative 2 is plus 1/2 x. So I don't know exactly where half is on here, but that's okay. It's just between 0 and negative 1. And from here I'm going up 1 over 2. So I go up 1 to the middle over 2. I just stay in the middle. And our sign is underlined, so we have a nice solid line. Now notice, we have a little triangle in the middle. That is our answer that we're looking for, so you shade that in, and that would be it. And that's all we're doing on this one. Graphing and then seeing if the answers are yes or no. And that's it.